this is Luton, and now we're looking at Operation 9 to 5. And what we have on this one is again another split level area. So let's start down in the parking lot, or the underground car park. Now, as I've said before, this area can be quite fun for having some fairly intense firefights. There's a lot of points in and out of this area, and as I've said, if you do spawn down here, you often spawn facing the car park area. Don't feel that you're going to have to run through it. If you just turn around, there's often multiple stairways out. Let's just take a look around here. So again, you can see, look, lots of routes out. Little rooms, dark areas. But having firefights down through this area can be really quite fun. Mainly because of exploding vehicles. And this is where your B capture point is going to be. So if you're playing Conquest Domination, you are actually going to need to come down here. If you're playing other game modes, not so much. But it can be kind of fun to be a little stealth player and just move around quietly in here, you know, pick off people. That can be quite a nice little fun one to do. If you're playing with friends, of course, you could always say, you know, let's all fight down here. It's a bit more exciting than fighting upstairs in the open where you can see everything. So this is the B point again. You probably won't often have a lot of opposition down here. Just be careful of C4, obviously. I'm not going to show you every staircase, but they all pretty much just lead up to the top area. So here we are on the main pathway. I don't know, you could probably call this the ground floor. I know you've got the lower basement level, but because this is your main level, you would probably just call it ground level or whatever. Okay, so this is going to be your construction area, okay? And there's obviously a lot of plasterboard or drywall, I believe you can call it in the US. A lot of this stuff right here. A lot of places to hide and watch out for. So you've got to be careful moving around this area. It's quite dark. There's going to be a lot of people sort of hiding and camping. People often will sort of sit and watch through these places. You can see right down here, you can watch through that corridor there. So, but often I find that there isn't so much camping because these maps get played out very, very fast. So you don't get so much camping going on. There's obviously these little conference rooms all over the place. This map really is too kind of complicated to explain every position, so I'll just kind of show the main routes and so on and so on. But there's a lot of these little rooms, and it can be quite difficult sometimes to pick out a target amongst them. Because when you're in a game and people are sort of sitting up behind these things, it can be quite tricky to, you know, pick anyone out, their head from there. So you really need to have your sharp eyes and watch for any movement at all. If you're capping A, you want to be careful that you don't cap it in line with this door, because often people will sit here. I've done it, I've seen people do it, and they will sit here covering A. You can cap A. These are automatic doors, by the way, so if you just stand, they will open. You can cap A from like here. Again, that's quite a good one to do because it puts you out of the line of sight, often where people will be looking at you, and they won't always look over here. In fact, something that you can often do is just sort of hide in here. Just chill out on the sofa, let other people cap it, they'll run off to the next base, and you just come back out, recap it, and then if they, you know, you can often go over here as well, just go prone here, they probably won't see you. So if you want to sort of stay in control of A, you can often leave one person to just constantly recap it, if you want to play like that. We've got this kind of lobby, again, conference area here. There's a lot of these conference call areas. They're too sort of miscellaneous to really number or give any name to, so you just need to call them kind of like a conference area and so on and so on. The only upper floor area is accessed from this staircase, really. It's not particularly useful, but it does allow you to kind of cover A. So if you were covering A, you could shoot down on top RPGs, grenades, or if you're a C4 camper, then whatever. Again, you've got these walkways, you can cover the routes above. More conference calls and blah blah blah, meeting offices. And then it just leads us across to another staircase, so not a particularly useful above area really. Okay, so coming through around this way, this will lead us back through to the construction area, and that construction area will lead us to C, as will the two main corridors. We've got two main corridors from A, you see. One leads straight down here, and this one leads straight down through here. When you get to this kind of mid cross-section point here, you've got two choices. You can either push through this way. I don't think you can go around this way. Oh yes, you can. You go up here. And this leads you to another sort of balcony area above C. Little lounge area again. And C is quite a large area as well. And this leads you back down another staircase into this corridor. And this corridor leads back to that cross-section point we were looking at. This middle area. This is often the fastest route to C, but you've got to be a little bit careful again, people not camping this corridor out. Claymores can be deadly on this corridor because it's such an enclosed area. Then we get back to C. C is such a... it's a mess. So again, you really need to be careful people in this area because they can be hiding literally anywhere. And this leads us back down here to the parking area. There's many ways in and out of that. Coming from C again, you want to be careful people coming down this way. And you can get in here from the construction area. If you didn't take that staircase up, which is right there, there's a doorway just behind. So you've got 3 real main entry points. And that's all there is to it. That's Operation 925. It's quite a simple map as the others, but unlike the other maps, there is a huge amount of blocking scenery and stuff in the way. All these office blocks, these cubicles. It can be a real intense fight with all the paperwork and everything exploding around. So it can often be, so you really want to pick your targets as you move through the map. You want to look before you move. Always want to look before you move on this map. And again, points like this, when you get these little bottlenecky bits, you want to be a bit careful as you move through, just to sort of pick targets, make sure there's no one coming. Check your areas as you move through the map. So that's been Operation 925, quite a simple one this one. Complicated map, but a simple overview. Thanks for watching, guys.